My neighbor's kids won't stop knocking on my door. They've been dead for 5 years. It started again last night. 3 soft knocks at the door, just after 2 a.m., the exact same as it's been for the past 4 nights. I know I shouldn't open it. I know what I saw. But when you hear children's voices whispering your name in the dark, when you see their silhouettes pressed against the frosted glass, it's hard to pretend you're not just a little bit hopeful that it's all been some horrible mistake. The Wilson kids died 5 years ago. Their house caught fire in the middle of the night. Faulty wiring, they said. By the time anyone noticed the smoke, it was already too late. The family was trapped upstairs. The whole street woke up to their screams. I did too. But I didn't do anything. I stood in my window and watched the flames eat their house alive. I told myself it was too late, that by the time I got outside I couldn't have helped anyway. But I heard the knocking, even then, faint and desperate, just like now. I think it came from inside the walls. The parents' bodies were found together, melted into the charred bed frame. But the kids, they were never found. Just tiny handprints on the floorboards, leading to the front door. That door had claw marks in it. Deep ones. The cops thought wild animals had gotten in. But wild animals don't knock. Last night, I finally opened the door. There was no one there. But the knocking didn't stop. It was coming from the walls now. And it's not just knocking anymore. They're talking. I can hear them behind the drywall, giggling and whispering, scraping their fingernails along the inside. They're moving, room to room, closer. They keep asking why I didn't help them, why I watched, why I did nothing. I tried to tell them I was scared, that I didn't know what to do. They didn't like that answer. I don't think they're going to leave this time. My lights are flickering. The air smells like smoke, and I can see tiny handprints forming on the wall beside me. They're inside the house now, and they're not alone. I didn't sleep. After the handprints appeared on the wall, I locked myself in the bathroom and turned the lights off. I don't know why, like hiding would help. I sat in the bathtub with a knife I found in the drawer. Like that would make a difference. They didn't try to break in. They didn't have to. Around 3:15 a.m., the whispering started again. Not just the kids this time. Another voice joined them. Deeper. Slower. Like it was learning how to speak. The children sounded afraid of it. I heard one of them say, "He's awake again." Then silence. And then the scratching started. Not at the walls this time. From inside the mirror. I swear I'm not crazy. I watched as a small crack formed in the center of the glass, spiderwebbing outward like pressure was building behind it. Something moved on the other side, just beneath the surface. I turned away, and when I looked back, the mirror was normal again. But my reflection wasn't. It blinked when I didn't. I left the bathroom when the sun came up. I thought maybe daylight would push them back, like they were tied to the night somehow. But now things are different. It's not just the walls. It's the photos, too. Every picture in my house with people in it. Friends, family, even old school photos. All of their eyes are gone. Scratched out. But there's something worse. The Wilson kids are in them now. Standing in the background. Watching. One of them is behind me in the picture on my fridge. Smiling. I'm in the photo, too. I don't remember taking it. I don't remember ever smiling like that. I left the house around noon and drove until my gas light came on. Parked at some diner lot an hour out of town. I've been sitting here for hours. I don't know where to go. But they do. There's a note under my windshield wiper, written in crayon. "Why did you leave the door open?" I didn't. I swear I closed it. Unless... No, I locked it. I know I did. I'm going home now. I have to. I think whatever was with them got out. I think it's wearing me, pretending to be me. And if that's true, then who's been driving my car for the last 10 minutes? And that was My Neighbor's Kids Won't Stop Knocking on My Door. They've been dead for 5 years by Pentyworth223. So, this story is awesome. I like the fact that it's not crazy long. It doesn't take a long time to kind of get into the nitty-gritty of, the details that you want. I do wish there was a little bit more detail, perhaps in some of the events, because I feel like it's kind of gives us highlights. And I feel like there could be built up just a little bit more if we had a little bit more depth to some of the details of the situations, especially with the fact that, they're able to kind of basically come into the house, quote unquote, and there also is something else with them that they are afraid of, right? It's good. It's really good. I'm very intrigued. The problem is I don't have enough info. I wish I did. I wish I had just a little bit more detail going on. But that's the only real critique, if I'm honest. I really enjoyed this story quite a lot. It's short, sweet, to the point. It's punchy. It hits just right. I'm hoping that the sound effect ideas I had for this have gone well. I feel like they would have at this point, but I wouldn't know now because I'm doing this after I just read the story, so it's fresher in my mind. It makes more sense. So Editor Nathan will he'll know what's up. So here's the thing. So when it comes to what this makes me think of, like right away, makes me think of the movie Oculus, because yet again, it's only just because of the mirror motif, if you ask me, is the only real reason why I kind of bring up the movie Oculus, because they're basically it's these two siblings who are convinced that there's like an antique mirror responsible for the death of like their family and stuff, and I'm like, okay, even though the mirror is not the reason why they died, but it perhaps is a gateway for them to enter the real world or something along those lines. I'm not sure, because I also feel like it's the catalyst for the stealing of the identity of the man. I'm assuming it's a man. It could be a woman. I'm afraid I don't know. Regardless, that's the only real connection there. It also made me think of The Conjuring 2, because yet again, it's a family that is plagued by. I mean, in this case, they label it as a poltergeist, the Enfield poltergeist, even though there's actually more going on as well, like the fact that when the Warrens show up, they end up bringing their own issue as well. I'm not going to obviously spoil too much. Like, if you haven't seen it, it's a great horror movie. But, like, it's not a perfect connection. Yet again, it's more like a family that is being tormented by a dangerous entity that may or may not be a ghost. It could be a demon. I get the feeling it's a little bit more demonic in the Neighbor's Kids story, just based on the somewhat subtle description of the fact that deeper, slower, probably a little bit more menacing. And the fact that it can also, like, copy people's appearance, I mean, is weird. So, like, I guess demons can do that? I don't really know, if I'm completely honest with you. There's probably, like, certain demons that could do that, I'm sure. Of course, that makes sense. But otherwise, it makes me think of, like, shapeshifters and anything else that can, I suppose, mimics. Mimics could copy a form. If there's specific demons that can do it, please let me know in the comments below so I can learn something today. Because otherwise, I got to Google it, and I feel like I'll get a lot of weird answers. I also found out upon researching mirrors, funnily enough, there's actually a 2008 film called Mirrors with Kiefer Sutherland, out of all people, and I haven't seen this, so I'm gonna have to put that on my list to watch, because apparently it's based on like a Korean, what is it, a South Korean horror film. Into the Mirror. Okay, that's yeah. I do like me some Korean stuff. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, that's been cool. I've quite enjoyed the story. I sure hope you have too. I need to do some work. I really do. But Pentyworth, thank you yet again for this opportunity. Thank you yet again, Nate at Nighters, for being here and having a good time with me. And we will we'll catch you for whatever's next. Cheers, peeps. Shout out to these cool peeps: Jude, Tracy Dooling, and Zayden. You too can become a cool peep for $1 a month and get these member shoutouts and also 2 weeks exclusive early access to my future upcoming videos through either YouTube, Patreon, or when my merch store is live, Fourth Wall. You can also show your support by tipping through either Super Chats, Super Thanks, both on YouTube, or through my Streamlabs.com URL, which will be in the description of future videos below. Cheers for now, guys.